two twos. There's one, and two, and three. Ooh, a pirate hat. This will come in handy in September. And some wings. Oh, these are so cute. They probably won't fit me. Ooh, awesome. Now this is more like it. Oh, hey guys, Miss Caroline here, and I am so excited because it is the end of May, and soon enough it's gonna be summer. So I was cleaning out the resource room and I found a bunch of cool things, and this stuff definitely got me some good ideas for what we could do during the summer and hopefully in the fall. But let me show you something really cool. I found myself a shield. And what kind of people wear shields? Oh, soldiers, people who are in the army, or who are protecting other people. This is so very helpful to make sure that you are nice and safe. And this one actually has a picture of a cross. That's right. And our story has to do with a man who was part of the army. Let's hear from our special guest to see what our lesson is about today.
In our Bible story, we'll hear about someone who went where God told him to go and did what God told him to do. You want to show him your muffin? Yum!
Just follow me through. Hoo, hoo.
Follow me through, follow me through, who? Always got a Bible story for me and you.
There we go. Hola, friends. I'm Luis, the handyman. I'm just making sure this is ready for my niece. She's getting a new frog tomorrow, and we don't want it to be able to jump away. Let's see. It's all done. It's perfect. Perfect. That reminds me of our story today. Do you want to help me build it? Great. Let's put it on the story fence. Hammers up, little builders. Ready. Uno, dos, tres, hammer. Great job, little helpers. You can put your hammers down. Now we just need our story tools. Yep, we have everything we need. Today's true story from the Bible begins with a man named Gideon. One day, God said, take an army and go defeat the big, powerful Midianites. Now, Gideon knew that God's way is perfect, so Gideon jumped, and went God's way. He got together the biggest army of men he could find. Look at all of them. They were ready to go. But God said, Gideon, you have too many men. Make the army smaller. So Gideon said to the army, if anyone's afraid, you can go back home. Wow, that's a lot of men. How will they defeat the Midianites now? But Gideon knew that God's way is perfect. So he jumped, and went God's way. The army was now ready to go again. But God said, there are still too many men. Make the army even smaller. Take them to the water and tell them to get a drink. Then God said, the men who put their faces down to the water should leave. The men who lifted the water to their mouth with their hands should stay. Now there were only a few men left in the army. But God said, go and fight, I will be with you. So once again, Gideon jumped, and went God's way. Charge! And what do you think happened? Did they win or lose? They won! Of course they did! Because God's way is what? Perfect! It's true. You know, sometimes when God asks us to do something, it doesn't always make sense. But we can trust that God's way is perfect. So we can jump, and go God's way. Hey there, Ollie. Tell me, whose way is perfect?
God's way is perfect. Yes, it's true. Now let's hear it from you. Tell me, whose way is perfect?
God's way is perfect. That's the truth, friends. You better believe it. Adios.
Hey guys, welcome on back. So, in our Bible story, we learned about a man named Gideon. And Gideon was in charge of an army. That's right. Remember our armor from earlier? Yes. But while he was getting his army together, he had to make sure to listen to God. And God had some very special instructions for him when it came to creating this army. Now, before I finish this recap, we're actually going to do our recap and our craft together. And for this, all you'll really need are some crayons, a pen, and a piece of paper. So go ahead and grab those items, and I'll see you soon.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey friends, welcome on back. I'm glad that you got all the materials that you needed. So, to continue the recap of our story, we were learning about a man named Gideon, and Gideon was in charge of an army. So I'm going to draw in the center of my page the leader of all these soldiers. So I'm going to make a head, and I'm going to give him a fancy helmet, maybe with some fuzzies on top. I'm going to give him a happy face, since he was given a very important job from God. And now I'm going to make his armor. Some hands. And then for his legs, I'm going to add some more armor on his knees. So here we have Gideon right there in the middle. Now, Gideon got his soldiers together, but God said his army was too big. So Gideon told them, anybody who's scared, go ahead and leave. And so some of those people left. And when God looked at the army, he said they're still too big. So Gideon said, what can I do? Well, God had an idea. God said, bring them over to the water. And if they drink the water by having their head down and drinking like a cat or a dog, they can leave too. And so even more people left. And then Gideon was left with a small army. He didn't have thousands. He only had 300 soldiers. But he listened to God, and he knew that God would provide. So even though he only had 300 soldiers, he wasn't too worried because God was with him. So we have our Gideon right here, and we are going to add some groupings of soldiers here, here, and here. And to do that, I'm going to use my hand and make some handprints. So behind Gideon, I'm going to have my hand out like this, and I'm going to trace just my fingers. So not the palms, but my fingertips. And you see how they're kind of like people right there? I'm going to draw some faces on them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And these will be a good outline of the people that you're drawing. Now, sometimes I'm good at drawing people, but when I have to draw a bunch of them, I kind of just do stick figures. Kind of like these ones right here. So there's one group of soldiers. I'm going to draw even more. I'm going to draw 2 more groups. So I'm going to do another semi-handprint. Right there, and then another one right here. And then I'm going to draw more faces. And another set right over here. A few more smiley faces. And some more. There we go. It'll kind of look like this. Now I know that was a little silly, but do you remember how many hundreds of people Gideon had? He had. Let's remember our handprints. We did one here, so it's 1. Another group here, that's 2. Another group over here, that is 3. He had 300 soldiers with him. Now, if you want to, you can go ahead and add some color onto this. So I'm actually going to try and find a gray, just what I needed. I'm going to add some gray to his armor and to his fancy helmet. And I'm going to make his, oh, that's the color I needed. Let's see if I have black over here. Perfect. I'm gonna make his pants black. And then with our friends over here, you can add like a shield. Here we go. To some of our friends. You can add helmets to some of our other friends. You see in our picture, he doesn't look like a whole lot of people. There were actually only 300. But Gideon listened even when it was hard because he knew that God's plan was perfect. Alrighty guys, I hope you enjoy this craft. I can't wait to see what yours looks like. I love you guys so very, very much, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye!
God, you are the best. You don't make mistakes. Yeah, you don't make mistakes. And when things are a mess, you always know the way. You always know the way. You perfect.